a little wee out the school bus window.
Have you ever just come across someone to where they just make you think there is no way this person is real? Because I have certainly felt that about some of you guys in the comments. I swear, there's no way some of you people are real. But among like all of that, among like all the people in the comments, I see a lot of you put like a lot of heart and soul to some of your comments. Sometimes I may not respond a lot of the time, but I do see it. So I just want to say thank you so much. But I mean, like, let's be honest. There is some people out there to where you look at them or you just see how they behave, and it's just like there is no way this person is real, because either it's the car they drive, the way they act in public, the way they talk to you. It's like, what? It's like, there's no way I'm in real life right now. I have to be in like a simulation. There's no way any of this is real. It's like, how many of these people are there? How many of you people are just secretly robots just roaming the world? And that was something that crossed my mind the other day, is the fact that even though it may seem like there are some people that don't exist, like there can be the most basic person ever, the most basic person of all time, like the most generic of the generic. But then there can also be the most interesting person you've ever met in your life. But sometimes I can't help but just think there is 8 billion people on this planet, and that number is only growing. And to think that every single one of them, every single one of those people has a story, whether it's interesting or boring, is honestly something I don't think people talk about enough. Because there's a lot of people that'll go like, this person isn't real, this is an NPC. But behind that boring personality or that insane behavior is someone that has a life story. You don't know what that person has went through. I don't know what you have went through. A lot of people don't know what I go through on a daily basis. Not that it's interesting or anything, but because there is a reason for everything. There's a reason why some people act the way that they do. Because I know that every single person knows this, but just in case if you don't, everyone's upbringing is different. My upbringing, my situation is probably vastly different than yours, but that doesn't change the fact that we're all people too. I'm a normal person just like everyone else. Yeah, I may have been seen by over 1 million people, which is honestly kind of freaky to think about, but that is a thing. But the fact that there's 8 billion people on this planet, that is something that I honestly cannot fathom. I don't think any of us can fathom that. So to put that into like somewhat of a perspective for you, right? I have nearly 20,000 subscribers, which is insane. Thank you guys so much for that. A lot of people will see that number and compare it to other people. It's like, oh, you don't have 100,000 or 1 million. Yeah, but think about it like this, right? Take this stadium, for example. This is a stadium of 20,000 people. This is how many people have watched my videos and thought that, you know what? I think I want to see more, and hit the subscribe button. Now, this is how many people have seen my face. This is over 1 million people. That should probably help put you into perspective just how many people there are in this world. And the fact that every single person that has seen my face, you watching this right now that is seeing my face, you have a story too, whether it's interesting or boring, whether how we got into this situation or not. Because sometimes I'll be sitting in traffic, right? I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but this is really just something that's been on my mind for so long. It's just the fact that I'll be sitting in traffic sometimes, right? You know, 5 o'clock traffic, it happens. Along with all these other people, you know, it's like kind of like in GTA, how you're driving around, dodging and weaving, cutting up traffic with the NPCs. But the thing is, this is real life. Those are not NPCs. It may seem like they're computer generated, they may just be code, but all of those people, they all have a situation, they all have a story, they all have a reason as to why they're there or how they got into that situation in the first place. How everyone ended up there at the exact same time. Whether it's an interesting story, whether it could have been like an entire Forrest Gump sequence, an entire life story happened that evening, and they just so happened to end up in the same place as you did. Or it could be the most boring thing ever. It could be the most boring story in existence. Because even though it may seem like some of these people can't be real, it's crazy to think that they are. You know, what's also crazy is along with the fact that over 2.9 billion people, all their stuff was stolen by me. I stole it. And that is why I'm proud to announce today's sponsor. I know, guys, I know. We're getting sponsors now, left, right, and center. It was Tej last time, now we got another. Guys, today's video is sponsored by Aura. No, not that Aura. I'm sorry, you guys probably hate me now, I'm sorry. I need money, all right? Forgive me for promoting this amazing deal to all of you. This is something you actually might be interested in. So did you know that over 2.9 billion records, probably yours too, were stolen from national public data, which provides personal information to employers and others doing background checks. These stolen records can include someone's full name, address, date of birth, phone number, and most importantly,
your social security number.
And members of a specific hacker group have reportedly leaked all of this information online for free. Don't look that up, it's not for you. Now, if you weren't taking precautions with your personal information online before, this should be a huge wake-up call. And I know for a fact it is for me too. You've never been more vulnerable online than you are right now. But I'm not worried about it because now I use Aura. Aura monitors your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points like the dark web, and public court records to detect and alert you to potential identity theft. They give you up to $5 million in identity theft insurance should the worst case scenario ever happen. They also provide a bunch of other features to keep you safe online, all inside one app. And along with that, if Aura does detect that your information was leaked online, you can use Aura to send out a request to take your personal information off of it, because they legally are not allowed to have your data there without your consent. So they're obligated to take it down. Now you can go to my link in the description to try 14 days for free. And that's going to be more than enough time for Aura to find out if your personal information has been exposed. I highly recommend that you do this now, because not only is national public data not going to do anything to help you, they probably aren't even going to face any repercussions for this leak. I know. That's dumb. I'm not leaving myself and my family vulnerable to data breaches because that sucks. And if you don't want to be vulnerable to these data breaches either, you can click my link in the description and pin comment to get 14 days for free. What's crazy to think about is that the reason for a lot of things happening is because of everything that led up to that moment. I was watching a mini documentary the other day by Tommy G. I think it was like the scammers of Minneapolis or something. I don't know. It was somewhere around that area. It put into perspective for me the different situations and scenarios of why people do certain things. I'm not saying I condone it, but I understand. Some people need money now. They need it now. There's no other way. Jobs aren't accepting. I need a way to pay the bills now. So a lot of the time, it feels like the world is screwing me over. The world is purposefully out to get me. Why don't I screw it back? I feel like that's what a lot of us feel now. I very briefly touched on how becoming an adult is so much different now, because it's like you become an adult and everything's expensive. It's like, why this time? Why this time Gen Z becomes an adult now and then, oh, sorry, the world sucks. Everything is more expensive. You know, gone are the days you could go out with $10 in a dream and return with weeks worth of stories. Now you'd be lucky to even be able to get anywhere with 10 bucks. But it really just put into perspective for me of everyone else's situation and everyone else's story. I'm lucky to be in the position that I am now. I'm incredibly grateful for that. All of you have given me this opportunity. However, some people in this world have no personality, no sense of humor, no nothing. What, you thought this whole video was just gonna be wholesome? Why is it that you talk to some people and the only thing that you'll ever get out of them is, like, yes, I understand that social anxiety exists, but a simple one-word response would have been way better than just staring at me like, hey, how's your day? Hasn't the weather been amazing recently? Yeah. Now this person can very well be going through it at that moment, and that's perfectly fine. But normally, not every time, but normally, you would talk to someone like this and they aren't going through anything. They're literally just like that just because. I'm secretly talking to Batman, I guess. But then there's the complete opposite of this person. Hey man, how's your day been? Oh, let me tell you.
2 hours later.
And then I whipped out my cock, and then she whipped out hers, and I was like, holy shit, it's bigger than mine.
Sometimes I like to sit and imagine one of my buddies just randomly showing up where I just happen to be at that moment. And you know, we do the whole thing where it's like, oh my god, it's you! Like if there's some celebrity, because that's what best friends feel like sometimes. Oh my god, it's you! The person I've known for so long! Because in a public setting, no one knows that person or their story, but you do. And that's why they're so special to you. It's the same thing with celebrities. They are only famous because their stories are more known than everyone else's. And because of the sheer amount of people in the world and the vast amount of stories to be told or heard, the majority of people never have their story heard. Because there can only be so many people in the spotlight, so the rest that aren't just seem like ghosts. NPCs to others, you can say. Just roaming the world and existing before they ultimately don't one day. So to you, that random person in public can just seem like a ghost or an NPC just roaming about, someone that you may never see again in your life. But to someone else, that's their entire world. Sometimes when I'm out in public, I'll just look at some random person and think to myself, oh my goodness, it's you. I have no idea who you are or what you've been through, but we just so happen to be in the exact same place at the exact same time. The fact that I can say that pretty much a lot of the time when I upload a video now, it's like filling up an entire stadium with the amount of views it gets. It's insane to me. But I was with one of my female friends the other day. I know, guys. I'm not an incel. I know. Even though I may look emo, you know, sitting in my room, black clothes, black hair, styled down, dark environment. I know. Guys, I'm not emo. But if you're a goth baddie and you think I'm attractive, slide in my DMs, you know? But anyways, I was sitting with my female friend at a coffee shop the other day, and we had this exact same discussion that a lot of the people that we've come across in our life, there was a reason why they're there. Whether it was because of their upbringing, the way that they acted because of that, and the way that they treated others. I don't know what I'm trying to say now. What I'm trying to say is, don't be so quick to judge. Everyone has their own situation that they're going through. You never know what someone's going through. I know this has been said so many times. I think no one has ever put it into a perspective like this. There's so many different things going on. There's probably people everywhere. Everywhere you go, there is something going on. You can go out, there's something happening. I can even look behind me, there's something happening. Stop. Shut up. It's crazy to think that there's so many people out there seeing my face. All of you are seeing me, but I'm not seeing you. To me, I'm talking to a camera right now. I may never ever meet you in your life or in my life either, but you're seeing me. And that's what's so weird about the internet, is that the internet allows us to see into other people's lives that we'll never meet. That I found this video the other day. It showed the life of this guy named Mike, and he had been uploading to YouTube for years. He'd been uploading for like 12 years or something, and he only had like 200 subscribers, but it was literally a whole look on his life and everything. And I think it's so strange that we can see so much and care so much about someone that we've never seen before or ever will see. This parasocial bond. Because you can see it right there. You can see his story unraveling. I think that's what's also the fun of it. That's what's so terrifying about life, but what's also so interesting and so fun about it is that I don't know where I'm gonna be, but it's also exciting because I don't know where I'm gonna be. I think I've said everything. Did I get my point across? I don't know. Sometimes I have trouble like getting my point across and getting people like on the same wavelength as me, as like exactly my thought process and what's going on. Because that's the thing. My videos, YouTube, I edit all my videos. That's why it takes a while for some of them to come out. Whether it's because I'm having to dispute with someone or it's just taking me a long time to edit. I saw this quote the other day from another person that I'll never meet before. But yet you can get all these lessons from everyone that you've never seen before. Like all these stories, all these different stories. And as that editing is like, it's a way to see into my brain. The way I edit, the way I tell a story, the way I explain my point, it's me showing, it's kind of just a look inside of my brain and how it works. And that's why I think I haven't gotten an editor for so long, is because it would be so hard for someone to quite literally just replicate my brain and how it works. Speaking of which, if you're a professional editor and you want to edit for me and you can help me produce these videos quicker, at Kenoth1 on Instagram. But yeah, all these stories, all these people online that you'll never meet, all these valuable lessons. There's people that change lives. There's people that have said something that has changed my outlook of life and have changed my life in general. I will never meet that person ever. That's what's so strange about the world that we live in today. I don't know how to end this, so I'm just gonna end it off now. I think I got my point across.
KO, you're under arrest for covering a whole classroom with tons and tons of poop and diarrhea. No, 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 no.